One of the five biggest challenges black people have for the next 100 years, the number one challenge is the existential crisis of the black family. The existential crisis of the black family. Marriage in our culture is down to 34%. When we were growing up, it was 85%, it's now down to 34%. 71% of our sisters are not married, 29% will never get married, 63% of our brothers are not married, 30% of them will never get married. There is no culture in the history of humankind that has risen to maximize their full human potential without family at the center of their culture. This only exists. This is an interesting but negative statistic. This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American black people. It does not exist on the continent or anywhere else in the diaspora. So there must be something in the water. We must fix this. It is a lot easier said than done because it is impacting our wealth. Quick statistics. For 350 years, household median income was dominated by white people. They were number one in this country. They no longer are number one, they're number three, and there's a reason for it. So, who has the highest household median wealth in America? It's East Indians, $104,000 a year. What's the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. Two are working. Who's number two? Chinese Asians. Household median income, $110,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. Number three are white people. Household median income, $88,000 a year. What's the marriage rate? Almost 50%. Down significantly. Number four are Hispanics. Household median income, $61,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. We are at the bottom. Household median income, $55,000 a year. Marriage rate, 34%. And projected based on facts and statistics that if we do not fix this, because white folks ain't fixing this, our marriage rate will be in the low teens in the next 20 years. We must, this is an enormous challenge. That's a whole talk by itself on how do we fix it. It can be fixed, but we have to, first of all, understand that this is a problem. No one's talking about this problem. This is a huge problem. It's the number one problem in our culture. So we must fix it.
Facts, bro. Listen, that's something that, as I always say, the Godfather would always speak on. And when y'all know I say the Godfather, I'm speaking about the good brother, Kevin Samuels. Listen, bro, we are at a deficit in putting these families together. And I have three daughters, and my youngest is my son, and I'm worried for all of them. Right now, I just left my family's house where I have two male cousins. They both are under 35 years old, and they married to black women, right? You know what I'm saying? And well, one black woman, one Hispanic, but whatever, who cares, right? You know what I'm saying? And they are both still waiting to have children, right? You guys are an example of what we need to do going forward to help build good families. You are an example that comes from a good family that need to push that forward. We need to concentrate on doing that because, as he stated, that's the biggest issue that we have. And that's that great divide that we see between black women and black men. You know, we talk very frequently on the differences between, you know, male and female relationships. Then on the other shows you got Lapeef throughout the week, that's a main topic on my show, Facts and Law Pod show. We talk about the differences and the divide between male and female relationships. We need to figure out a way to bridge that, to build into relationships as opposed to continuously discussing why they are apart. Because that's something that we got a whole wealth of knowledge on why they're apart. Now we need to figure out what we need to do to bring those together and show the values of bringing those relationships together and what it can bring. So yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, Law. I think the biggest issue, especially now with us having the internet, with us having YouTube and podcasts, we talk about the problems with no solutions. And then on top of that, we spend more time on why Black women act this way, why Black men act this way, but we leave out the what comes with having a good woman, what comes with becoming a husband. As scripture tells us, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, and all of and God will open up the doors unto that man to be able to receive everything to take care of his family. So I think if we focus on that more, then that'll help us in recovering in this ridiculous deficit that we see, because nobody wants to put in the work. Nobody wants to go through those hard times. It's easier to walk away because of the idea that there's options out there, or I'll rather be alone, when that's not what we were made for. So the more that we push that narrative, the further away it is that we get. And I think that it's terrifying that we have that low of a percentage of marriage in the Black community. And we see it directly as to why the effects of what's coming from it. Our kids can't read. You know, we all in jails. We're at the bottom of the totem pole. And I personally can't say that we can continue to blame white people, because we're literally doing it to ourselves with the movies that we make. Tyler Perry putting out trash, but he a multi-billionaire. The music that we listening to, that's being played on the radio, nobody says nothing about that. We not boycotting that. We not marching for that. There's no Black Lives Matters for that. But we'll do it for everything else if somebody does it to us. But what it is that we're doing to ourselves, it goes unanswered. So I think if we do that, if we fix everything in-house first, then that's going to impact everything else to the greater good.
I don't know if somebody was
Well,
going to go. Hank, go ahead.
Well, Viz, I don't, you know, if you remember that conversation we had on a couple Wednesdays ago, and how the ladies, like, you know, they wasn't willing to build with a man. They wasn't willing to do certain sacrifices about marriage. Look, one of the things I know that we hear about it a lot on the internet is the downplay of stepfathers. There was a time period, man. It you know, stepfathers was revered. Because you had a lot of women out here who was having kids. Now, of course, the count of kids, women having kids now is a lot less. But there was a time period it wasn't. And so, you know, now it's like, man, you being a stepfather it's like you damn near shamed. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that's what's going to have to happen. Because you got some women out here still that's not married, but they have kids outside of marriage. Somebody's going to have to hustle. Somebody's going to have to get with them. If we're trying to build a community, they are part of our community, whether we like it or not. I know it may look like it's a black eye because they are single with child, are unwed with, you know, having babies out of wedlock. They still part of our community, still part of the building process. So, you know, what do we do with them? We just cast them off to the side, just let them die off? I don't know.
I mean, it's always been survival of the fittest. So even if they don't want to settle and conform to that man that they may come across, then so be it. It's on them. There's 6 billion people on the planet. So even though Hank, I would even say, even though they were saying that, many of them would. I think that in public, people say certain things that they would never do. I won't do this. I'll never do that. But let the right man come along. They're gonna do everything that they said they weren't gonna do. So I think I agree with what you're saying 100%. But we already know women they gonna be wishy-washy, and all it takes is for that one man to come along, and they're gonna come on over to the dark side.
No, that's right, Viz. I know that's right. Welcome, ladies.
So Viz, I want to kind of go in on that. I disagree with you, bro. I think that argument, when you start to kind of go into like the music we listen to or the movies that we make, I feel like that becomes the chicken or the egg argument. You dig what I'm saying? Like art imitates life. You dig what I'm saying? If life wasn't put in those scenarios first, then we wouldn't be able to make the art to represent it. You dig what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. As an artist, I feel like people make the art that replicates what they're going through. And which one comes first, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, yeah, I agree, but I gotta disagree as well, because bro, when it comes
bro,
to just make
so Michael Michael Irvin's son. That clip has been recirculating.
Mm-hmm.
There's a clip of him on a podcast where he like,
the
man,
terrible rapper boy. Yeah, I know.
he say my son raps about the hardest shit ever in life.
Yeah.
And he like, boy, you grew up in a 20,000 square foot home, gated community.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless, you don't even have to have lived through that. But the fact that a person is being influenced by it, they're going to create that very life. There was this one kid from Chicago, from the burbs, out in the burbs out in my area. The nigga was spoiled rotten, got whatever he wanted all throughout high school.
Tremaine,
clothes, and this clown
unalived
his mama.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna say that.
For some money, just to flaunt.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And act like he had this tough life. Nah, bro.
But that's not
we see that so much. We saw the impact of drill music just off the strength of it going out to London. You know what I'm saying? Where drill music is a thing in London, and they out there gang banging, crime that went through the roof, all because they was introduced to drill music in much of the country.
You got it backwards.
So,
they were doing drill music before it came over here.
And that's something, that's what I'm saying, bro. I disagree with the fact of it's not the
they was
music.
Doing drill music before they came.
It wasn't called drill music, but it still had the same energy. Right. Listen, bro, the energy of the people is going to reflect, right? You do what I'm saying? If they like the way this particular genre sounds, they may do it more, but it doesn't mean they're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, I hate when we try and pigeonhole this type of music as to a reflection on how people are going to act, where I feel like it's more so a reflection of the way people act is in the music. I think the chicken comes before the egg in that scenario. We are creating, like, if everybody's happy all the time and making money, you're probably going to have a lot happier music. You're not going to be as adversarial, right? Because you are not adversaries. You don't have a reason to be beefing. If you have an opportunity and a reason to beef because y'all digging for the same goddamn it nut, then yeah, it's going to be a reflection of what you're going through. But if you're in a better scenario, if everybody got something to do, if we, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot less likely that we're going to be killing each other for this same same 2 blocks. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.